jmc6000 here, and with another jmc6000 review. And before us today, I have the 2024 Honda Pilot. Now, this vehicle was new just last year, so it's not really an all-new vehicle. They did some changes for 24, but nothing really significant. I think some new colors. But other than that, it's pretty much unchanged from last year when it was introduced, this 24 Pilot. But let's go over a few things about this Honda Pilot for people who are searching for a three-row SUV. I've been doing a lot of three-row SUVs lately, waiting for the big reveal, which should probably come towards the end of this month. So you want to like, comment, subscribe so you can find out what that is. But before we begin, let's go ahead and go over this. Now, this Honda Pilot here is in, I think it's called Modern Steel Metallic. I actually love the paint. I think the paint is beautiful. It's this dark gray metallic type of a finish. I'm a sucker for dark gray paint jobs, and this thing just hits the marks for me for paint. You have LED high beams, LED low beams. You have an LED running light and an LED turn signal. So this running light dubs as a turn signal as well. On this particular model, you do not have, oh wait, you do. Sorry, you have fog lights that are hidden right down here. Very hidden. And then you have aero curtains along the front here that are actually functional to go around the front tires here. Before we go around the side here, we have a camera up there and a radar sensor right behind the massive Honda symbol that senses, or that is the radar sensor for the adaptive cruise. So on the side here, again, this is a three-row SUV, latest generation of the Pilot here. It's riding because this is an EXL. It's not the top of the line touring or trail sport, but it's right below the touring, called the EXL. They also make a sport model, which kind of be the entry level. But these ride on a 255/60 R18 Goodyear Eagle touring tires. So these are 18-inch rims. As you can see, we got some black kind of plastic cladding along the side here. We got this silver kind of trim right there. Honda has this unique rear window, kind of makes it look a little bit, I don't know, less like an SUV, I guess, and more like a minivan. So sorry. Did I put that out there? I do apologize. Anyway, the back of the Pilot here, of course, we have LED tail lights, LED brake lights, LED turn signals, and LED backups. And then no hidden, or no, I'm sorry, no exhaust tip that's visible. The exhaust is hidden. And then we have this weird silver plastic part of the rear bumper here. Let's look inside. Power lift gate, of course, and then we'll look at the window sticker. All right, this particular model can seat up to 8 people in this model. Now, under here we have quite a bit of, look how deep this thing is. And we have these dividers that kind of get kind of going here, which is pretty cool. But very nice deep storage back here. I really do applaud Honda for the deep storage back here. The spare tire is located underneath the vehicle, and these fold down quite easily if you need to do a fold down to the third row, kind of a 60-40 split here. And that's about it to talk about back here. Pretty decent room. I'm pretty surprised about the amount of room that's back here. There goes the rear liftgate. Pretty easy to operate. You see the rear camera. I believe it has its own washer, if I remember correctly. Let's go ahead and look at the window sticker here for this particular vehicle. So on this guy, go ahead and stop. Sorry for the interruption. We were cut off abruptly because I had a passerby commenting on the Pilot. But here, let's go ahead and talk about the window sticker here before we do the part of the family review that we usually do on my channel, that we have been doing. This window sticker, I know it's hard to see because there's actually extra tint that the dealer put on that is not a part of the factory. And in fact, it's on this addendum that you can barely even see. But the gist of it, again, this is an EXL. You can barely even see it, but the price, don't even worry about it. There's so much glare. $46,695, almost 47 grand. And that's not including the addendum that the dealership put on with tint and some other stupid add-ons to bring the price up to 48. So again, EXL, full leather, you know, 48 grand, or 48 grand with the add-ons, and then about 46, almost 47, just out the door MSRP. Now let's go ahead and do the family review. You're not supposed to be up there.
What?
All right, we are down one person because my daughter is having her hair being dyed and colored. So we're just going to do it with my two sons. Say hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
All right, so see if you can figure out how to... Oh, wow, that was easy. There's a push button on there that kind of folds the seat up and everything, which is really nice. All right, so this is technically an 8-passenger SUV. There's only a few on the market in this midsize section that are able to fit 8 people. Subaru Sentra is one. This one is another. I think there are a few others that are able to do that, but as we're doing that, you fold it down the center there, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
You got cup holders there. How does it feel back here, guys? I got my son back there. Is this seat all the way back? Oh, now it's all the way back. Yeah, you got a little bit more room there. It seems a little tight.
Yeah.
This is where I would drive. I'm about 5'10". My son is about an inch or two taller than me, and he's a little bit tight there in the second row.
Yeah. Not all bad.
Not all bad. Malachi, how's the room back there?
I was about to say this is a 2-seater, but no, it's a 3-seater.
It's supposed to be a 3-seater. It's kind of a tight 3-seater, but it's a 3-seater. How do you feel back there? How's the room back there?
Third seat, no, I would not sit here.
Really?
No.
Not that much room?
No, because like your legs are like crammed in.
Oh, okay.
But the rest of them, you get a cup holder.
Yeah.
2, and then you get some nice padding.
Oh, you're supposed to be able to remove this middle seat here, but I don't think it's as easy as what Honda claims it to be. Maybe someone can comment in the comment section about that. But anyway, so for family friendliness of this Honda Pilot, yay or nay?
Nay.
If you want to have, if you're doing 1, 2, 3, like 6 people or like 6 kids back here, nay, but because it's right here, but any, yay? Probably.
Yay? Yay and nay?
Nah.
It's kind of a toss-up.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate it, guys. Let's go ahead and do the interior review.
Okay.
And we'll just keep that rolling.
Okay.
Awesome.
Let
me go start it up because it is about 95 degrees out here. All right. We still going? Super duper. So hopefully it doesn't disconnect here. And anyway, so let's go over the interior review of this Honda Pilot. I'm so sorry for the noise of the fan, but we have to have it on because of how hot it is outside. Anyway, so a couple things I want to remark. My likes and dislikes about the Honda Pilot. You just heard my family review, minus one person, but we still going. Awesome, I love it. Anyway, let's go over likes and dislikes. I want to go over my dislikes first and get those out of the way before I go over my likes. Number one dislike, it's actually a like and dislike, but I'll go over my dislikes first. Number one dislike has to be this interior. And you may be like, John, what do you mean? Well, for starters, number one, this interior is all black. Sam, if you want to do a panoramic shot, everything in here is black. I mean, we have this high gloss black around the vents here. We have high gloss right here. The seats are solid, full black leather, no perforations, no ventilation, not even on the touring model where there's a ventilated seats. It was still solid black leather. I don't get it. Everything, this high gloss black here, there's a little bit of silver right here and on the door handles, but this is an all black interior except for this A-pillar and the headliner. That's a kind of a lighter tan, but everything else is solid black. And let me tell you something, in the summer, when it's this hot and the sun is shining on this thing, all black interiors do not work. I'm just telling you right now, they do not work. I know it looks good on paper and it may look good in the winter and whatnot, but for me, this is a big turn off, is an all black interior. Maybe if there was cloth. Now, I will say this. You can get the Pilot in a sport model, which has cloth seating, kind of similar interior, but with cloth seating. I would say that might be doable if you can find a sport model Pilot. And usually they're actually not too badly priced. I mean, they're in the low 40s, if not below 40 grand. That would be a nice thing to get. But being this EXL and higher trim, the EXL, the Touring with this all black leather interior, absolutely no go for me. Number two dislike, I'm going to say is, I kind of alluded to it already, was the styling. I just, you know, the older Pilot, which is currently what the current Ridgeline is based off of, actually has better styling than this one does. Now, many people may argue with me. Many people like this kind of boxy, kind of upfront, in-your-face styling. I just think it's way too boxy, way too, almost like a, if you were to put a butch front end on a minivan, that's what this reminds me of. Just saying. You put a kind of an aggressive front end on a minivan. You know what exactly this reminds me of? When GM came out with the Uplander, the Saturn Relay, the Pontiac, what was it called? Montana SV6, or whatever that stupid van was called. Those GM triplets of their minivans right before they killed the minivan back in 07. The Chevy Uplander, that's what this kind of reminds me of. The look like of a Chevy Uplander, except in Honda form. So Honda basically took the Chevy Uplander looks, put their badge on it, and here you are. If you don't know what I'm talking about, please find out a picture of what a Chevy Uplander looks like, and I'm telling you, they almost look identical between this and the Uplander. Tailgate may be a little bit different, but still. Anyway, so I'm not too crazy about the looks. I think the looks are just super plain, super minivan-ish. It's trying to be an SUV, or vice versa. An SUV is trying to look like a minivan. And not a big fan. Not a big fan. And then final dislike on this particular Pilot has to be just the powertrain. They don't have, oh, I forgot to go over the powertrain. I got that in a separate video you saw on JMC Garage Talk Review. If you didn't know that was, please go back and watch my latest JMC Garage Talk Review where I talk about this 3.5 liter V6. Let me just suffice it to say, with this powertrain, with the 10-speed automatic that Honda developed on their own, they didn't co-develop, it's their own design, it's not very exciting. It doesn't have the VTEC sound. It doesn't really spark excitement in the power. It's just kind of there. And the 10-speed does weird things. This 10-speed is not very polished. And I know some people may argue with me, but I'm telling you what, in this particular model that I've been driving, this 10-speed, especially slowing down, you can feel it downshift. It's not very smooth. It's not very polished. So I don't know what is up with that. All right, let's go over some likes. Everything's not all bad here. Let's go over some likes for the Honda Pilot. Number one, I love the color. I love this dark gray color. I think it's an amazing color. I really do like it. It has a good amount of metal flake in it. It looks really good in the sun. It's a nice color. I love this color. Number two, what I like about this Pilot has to be the material quality. Now, the material quality, even though I don't like the color choice in here, the material quality is very nice. So you have nice stitched, I don't know if this is pleather or leather, but it's nice and stitched on the dash here. This is nice and soft touched up here. The doors are nice and soft. This armrest is nice and soft and quality feeling. I mean, things are put together well in the Pilot. This feels like a very well put together vehicle. And it is actually built here in America, I believe in Alabama. But it feels very solid, very well put together. And my final like for this particular vehicle, I would say, has to be how intuitive it is. I mean, everything falls right to hand. The climate controls are nice and easy to get to. Nice clicky part of the climate controls. They have a very satisfying click to them for the, you know, for the temperature and everything. This is not the biggest screen in the world, but the Silent touchscreen does work well, and it's very easy to navigate, to go through the menus. It's nice up front and in your face. It's not too far of a reach, so I do appreciate it. And the sound system in this sounds really, really good. So I really do like the sound system in this. Again, wireless Android Auto, wireless Apple CarPlay, works very well. So I believe, did I say 3 likes already? Those are my 3 likes. Pretty awesome. I like the versatility of the Pilot. You know, the second row, the third row really works well. So in the end, would I recommend the Pilot? Not really, and it's not going to be my next vehicle. I think there are better 3-row SUVs out there. I just, if you find one at a good deal, like a sport model, then do it. It's awesome. But when anything above that, including even the Trail Sport, it's not worth it. I don't recommend it at all. Between the weak V6 and some of the other deficiencies in the interior, I think you can do a lot better. Anyway, stay tuned for my driver review where I talk about the driving portion, how the V6 interacts with the transmission. I touched upon that, and then also how the ride is as well. Thank you, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you on the driving portion of this review. All right, jmc6000 here, behind the wheel of the 2024 Honda Pilot. And what I'm doing behind the wheel is I'm going up my usual hill, going to set the cruise control right about 55. So sorry for the background noise, but it is a 98-degree day, so I have the air conditioner in this thing kicking. Like I said before, this thing has, unfortunately, a black interior with solid black leather seats. Oh man, anyway, I covered that in the interior. I'm not going to belabor that anymore, but it's not very kind on a hot summer day like today in North Idaho. So going up my usual hill here, got the speed control set to 55. It's adaptive cruise. Adaptive cruise seems to work pretty well. It's a little bit slow when like a vehicle moves out of the way, and then once it accelerates back up to speed, it's a little bit not very quickly to respond. I'm usually used to vehicles that are a little bit more quick to respond than this thing. This thing seems kind of lazy in its approach, at least with the adaptive cruise. Now I'm going up this hill, got the air conditioner on, not the fan on full speed, but it's on we'll turn the fan down just a little bit so you can hear what's going on. The engine just kicked down about 2.5 RPMs, or yeah, 2.5 RPMs, 2,500 rather. And it seems to be okay. One of the things I wanted to say about the Honda Pilot is, as I'm driving it, it is smooth. It's a little bit too soft. And I don't know if the Trail Sport would be different, but man, this thing like wallows in the corners. It's just like tossy and turvy. And yes, it's a family rig. Yes, it's not made for canyon carving ability. I understand that, but my goodness, it is just like riding in an old school 90s Cadillac. Just bouncy and curvy and just wavy. It's almost like I'm in a boat or something and I'm going over some waves. I mean, that's what it feels like in this rig. It's one of the softest vehicles I've driven in quite a long time, ever since I started reviewing vehicles. And I've driven in some soft vehicles. This probably takes the cake. I didn't know the suspension was tuned this softly. And maybe it's just me. Maybe I've ridden my Maverick too long, which that suspension is pretty stiff, but this thing is just like a pillow. And some people love that. Some people want that in the family rig. They want a pillow in a family rig, and I get that, but wow, this thing is just really pillowy soft. Acceleration's not bad out of this 3.5 liter. Again, we talked about this already in my JMC Garage Talk review. It sounds okay. It sounds just like a nondescript V6. It has decent power. The 10-speed is all right. Sometimes the 10-speed acts a little weird. And I don't know if it's just a model that I'm in, but sometimes when you're like slowing down to stop, it has some abrupt downshifts. Like, boom! Like, what was that? And it's the 10-speed actually going down in gears very abruptly. I'm very kind of surprised by that. In fact, I'm going to turn around up here. But anyway, I just figure I give you this kind of just as behind the scene, or behind the driver's seat, not behind the driver's seat, behind the driver's wheel rather, of the Honda Pilot. Again, it's a decent vehicle and just rides really softly. The 10-speed, I'll let you hear it. It's kind of lazy. All right. It's all right. I mean, other than that, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I should be getting my 3-year SUV here in the next review, if not the one after. Appreciate you guys, and stay tuned for more content here on JMC6000. You guys be blessed, and we'll see you on the next one.